I'm Jennifer from Unveiled Wife, and today we have Shauna here with us, and she's going to just share a little bit about who she is and what Wife After God has done for her. So, hi Shauna, can you just tell the community a little bit about who you are?
Hi everyone, my name is Shauna Cole. I am married, 34 years old. I have two beautiful children, a very loving husband. I work full-time. I am a part-time student. And I also have a very large family, and that's it.
Well, you have been through Wife After God, and I would love to just hear what this devotional has done for you.
Wife After God was one of the best books that I have ever read in my entire life. It sincerely was a life-changing book. I have referred it to many friends. I've referred it to the marriage counselor at work, and she also agreed that it was a very good book. It taught me so many things about how to look at things as being a wife. It also explained to me that I'm not the only one going through these issues. So are other women, and I really appreciated that. That meant that was a big deal to me, to know that some of the challenges in marriage and family, that I'm not the only one who experiences it.
I love that, and I love how God is using this devotional to reach so many women, and so thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for joining me in this interview today, where we're going to be talking specifically about chapter 18 of the devotional. Chapter 18 is all about pressures, and you just described, things that are going on in your life, and it sounds like you may know a little bit about pressures. So can you share a little bit about what chapter 18 has done for you?
Yes, chapter 18 taught me to look at pressures in a totally different perspective. I have now changed my perspective of simply just dealing with pressures and letting it tug me left, right, up, down, to now I look at those pressures as a process that is designed for me to go through, and to give me strength to know that at the end of the day, I am like a diamond. I am being refined. These pressures are part of that refining process of marriage and God's purpose for me.
I love that you call it a process, because I think so often we can kind of drown in our pressures instead of realizing that there is an end result and it does have purpose. What is one of the greatest pressures you face as a wife?
One of the biggest pressures that I face as a wife is to manage being tugged in so many different directions. I have to balance my husband and my marriage. I have to balance my children, their activities. I have to balance matters with my extended family, work, school, extracurricular projects that I'm involved in, and putting in work and time to grow in every important aspect of my life.
I think every single one of us can relate to that about time management and balancing. Do you have a tip or an encouragement for wives in that situation right now who are feeling that pressure?
It is important to recognize that the pressures in life are part of the refining process, to know that those pressures, and if you think about it, anytime you may have a disagreement with your husband, I mean, afterwards, you feel better. You've gotten through that disagreement. You grew together as a couple. You now see eye to eye on things, and it gets better. At least for my life, I can say any pressure that I experience and when things don't go intended in my marriage, it always feels better. I feel closer to my husband. I feel that we've gained miles every time we're put through a challenge.
Shauna, why do you think it's important that women identify these pressures in their life as opposed to running from them or ignoring them or pretending like they don't exist?
It is important to identify the pressures because it feels better. It simply feels better to go through the pressures knowing why you are going through them. If you enter something and have no idea why you're doing it or what the end result is, it seems confusing. It gives you more clarity and more of a purpose. It feels a lot better.
So your idea is just to focus on that end result and the purpose behind each pressure, and to really just endure the process and allow it to shape you.
Exactly. Focusing on not just the end result and just knowing that that pressure is there for a reason. That's also important.
I love that. Well, you've already completed this day's challenge, and what it is to write down pressures that you face and combat that with a truth found in God's Word. Can you explain a little bit about what you gained from doing that challenge?
Oh, of course. I recently, I have a 7-month-old son, and I struggled with, I wanted to be my pre-pregnancy weight like immediately, and I really stressed myself out, and I was really hard on myself about being maybe 15 pounds, 10 pounds heavier than what I was before I had my son at first. And I took that challenge and I said, okay, God doesn't want me worried about you're not your pre-pregnancy weight the day you had him. He wants me to focus on living a healthy lifestyle, which I did. He wants me to focus on living healthy and being healthy because it's his body, it's his temple. Mm-hmm. And once I did that, I didn't worry about it anymore, and I became happy in my own skin, and eventually I got back to where I needed to be.
I really appreciate your transparency because I think so many women do struggle with these same insecurities and pressures of having to feel like, all put together or perfect, physically. And so often we just need to realize that God values who we are, and He created us, specifically for His purposes. And we do, like you said, our bodies were given to us as a temple, and we just need to focus on God and how He values us.
Yes.
And so I really appreciate you sharing all of this with us. And as we wrap up this interview, is there one thing that God has been teaching you or an encouragement that you could share with all the wives in the Unveiled Wife community?
Yes, I am going to really reiterate putting things in a different perspective. If you put those pressures in a perspective, you will value them more. You will manage things better. It will give you more strength to keep pushing because you know that that pressure is there with a divine reason. And ultimately, the Lord will have His way in the end. So just change the perspective on pressures and learn to embrace and accept those pressures as you refine and as you grow, especially in your marriage.
Thank you so much. Your insight is beautiful, and I just really feel like this is going to be a huge benefit to the Unveiled Wife community, and so thank you. And I hope that you and your husband continue to do well and continue to grow in your marriage. And congratulations on your 7-month-old son. And I really value that you took the time today to be here with us, and thank you.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank you for being such a God gift to you wives and taking the time to do the daily emails and to do the monthly devotionals. I mean, it's really, all I can see is God's light and that you are a gift from God, and I thank you for that.
Oh, well, I'll just say you're welcome. I give Him all the glory, and, I just pray that I can continue to do that every single day because I know that there's a huge need. So, okay, well, take care, and thank you again.
You're welcome. Take care.